You normally judge rockers by the length of their hair. Looking at the England team, they're all like into house music. I don't know, David James probably, because he looks a bit like Phil Lynott. Peter Crouch. I like Peter Crouch. He's not afraid to make a bit of a fool of himself. I mean, I've seen the Pringles ads, God bless him, and the robot celebration was something to behold, wasn't it? Tiger Woods has just proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that shagging wins tournaments. Because as soon as he stopped shagging, the guy's career has fell to pieces. I mean, all right, he got busted for shagging all the wrong people, but my point is, all the success he's had has been based around him being able to shag. So I say shag away, boys. Warnock probably, because he'd be very underhanded. He'd just kick him in the balls while the other guy, while Blackwell was being all polite and getting ready to lift his gloves up. Hull City were the best team in Yorkshire. That's not really saying much, considering Sheffield's the fourth biggest city in the country. The problem with Sheffield has always been obvious on everybody's nose, and they just ignore it. There's two teams. It's split loyalty. It's not Newcastle and it's not Leeds. Look at Newcastle, 52,000 people. Oh, okay, Newcastle are hardly a successful team either, but potentially with the kind of revenue through the gates, it's got to be better than playing in front of 22, 23,000. I wouldn't have a problem with that because they'd have to be called Sheffield United. So that makes a difference. They've got at least 2 or 3 players that we could use. He always came across as a bit of a knob when he was doing his interviews on Match of the Day and stuff like that, but so do a lot of them. The worst of the lot is Arsene Wenger. The guy just doesn't, he needs his eyes tested. Oh, I didn't quite see it. What, you didn't see the guy, pull out a knife and cut his head off? Tony Curry came to my 50th birthday party. I actually said it in an interview once. I said, yeah, TC could come across as a bit lazy. And then next time I seen him, he'd read it. He said, why are you calling me lazy? I was never lazy. I would take TC's ability to turn a 0-1 at 4:30 into a 2 or a 3-1 by 4:45. Socks down, shirt out, long blonde hair. He was rock and roll on the pitch. Well, I played in a charity game with Frank Worthington once. And I was going to take the penalty, and Alan Hudson came up to me and says, don't even think about it. And up steps Frank, and he puts the right foot around the back of the left leg, and he kicked it, and it just went over the bar. And I turned around to him and said, no, tough, because it looked great. He says, it was supposed to hit the bar, come back, chest it down and volley it in. It's his party piece. I remember he scored that one goal for Bolton, where he kind of up in the air, turned around in the box and banged it in.
Wellington now from Dowling's header, and Wellington!
The last Leopard gig, because everybody jumps in the shower when we come off. Phil Collins is always naked. He would walk around naked if it was legal. He just doesn't like wearing clothes. He's always got his knob out, poor boy. I'd say music groupies, because they're just dirtier probably. And they don't try and get in the papers, they actually try the opposite. They just don't want to be in the papers. More discreet, I'd say, and less likely to sell their story to the news of the world. Rock and roll, football, sex, drugs. And I have to say rock and roll at the top, and that's only because, it's what I do.